Let us spin the wheel and see what deck we are playing next. Prowess. Alright, so this is Jeskai Prowess, and the idea is you play a bunch of cheap creatures, DRC, Monastery Swiftspear, Soulscar Mage, and Sprite Dragon, and a bunch of cheap spells, which is Unholy Heat, Bolt, Lava Dart, Mutagenic Growth, Mishra's Bauble, Expressive Iteration, Monomorphose, and Underworld Breach. Play out a bunch of creatures, then chain a whole bunch of spells back to back in a single turn to kill your opponent by pumping everything a lot, or just flashback bolt a whole bunch with Underworld Breach. And then in the sideboard, you've got various sideboard things. Wear Tear, Soul Guide Lantern, Flusterstorm for the Cascade deck, Spell Pierce, Chain to the Rocks. Not that complicated. Let's jump into a league. Why Jeskai over is it? Because it gives you access to certain white cards, like Chain to the Rocks and Wear Tear, and then some versions play Prismatic Ending, and some versions play Teferi. It's basically free. You're already the aggro deck. You can afford to play one white land. All right, round one on the play. Reveal Gigantha. We have no lands and must mull. All right, so we can keep this and probably just put a land back. All right, done. So let's go Steam Vents, cast Dragon Rage Channeler, and pass the turn. Opponent plays Minamo as their first land. Cast Dismember on this, which unfortunately Mutagenic doesn't protect from, so I'm guessing we're playing against Mill. All right, well now we have no creatures, so it's probably best to just cast Expressive here and then try to find creature/land. So the problem is if I do it now, I can't put a land into play, but if I don't do it now, I'm just waiting a turn. Okay, fetch. So we don't need any white mana in the first game, so it's probably just grab another Steam Vent, or is just a mountain fine? Yeah, a mountain's fine. Expressive Iteration. All right, well, that's a creature. I really, maybe it's better to just put Expressive in our hand instead. Yeah, let's put Expressive in hand, this on the bottom, exile this land, and then pass. Opponent plays Cavern of Souls. Oh, is this not Mill? Oh, it's Merfolk. Okay. Opponent plays Silvergill Adept, revealing Tide Shaper. All right. So, Expressive Iteration. We bricked on lands. That is so unfortunate. All right, what am I doing instead then? I'm going to play next turn. Probably want DRC. It's tough. All right, let's grab DRC in hand. Let's exile. Let's put Soulscar on the bottom, or let's put Swiftspear on the bottom and exile Soulscar. And then we can't do anything, so just pass the turn. Opponent plays Mutavault and then casts Vodalian Hexcatcher and Tide Shaper. All right, well, we're getting beaten in. I do not have Delirium yet, so it's probably best to do what? Go DRC Bolt Hexcatcher, and then they don't have a Lord in play anymore. And then they can just sack one of their guys, right? All right, DRC, and then I'll just bolt this on their turn. It'll survive because they can just sack Tide Shaper, but at least I can potentially then block something depending on what's in play at that point. Trickster tapping our guy down, so let's just bolt this now. I actually do want this land, so I'll keep it on top. And then I assume they'll sack one of the... Oh no, they just didn't sack. I'm surprised they're going to let their Lord die. All right, animate Mutavault, and then they attack us for 6. Let me go to 8. All right, well, can we kill them this turn? They have a Trickster to block with, so I can go land Swiftspear, Monomorphose. Assume the Swiftspear gets blocked. DRC doesn't... I can pump DRC with the Mutagenic Growth, but it itself is not getting Prowess. So, and if I do attack them, then they just swing on the Crackback with 8 power and we lose the game. So I have to attack with Darcy. So let's just see what we get off Monomorpho. So let's go land, fetch, grab a mountain, play Swiftspear. This has to attack. All right, yeah. So Monomorphose. What's on top? Sprite Dragon. We can actually cast that. Yeah, that's fine. So leave this on top. Then resolve Monomorphose and get blue and red. Cast Sprite Dragon. And then what happens if I go Mutagenic here? Then this gets 2 counters and becomes a 7/7. And this is 10. And this is, yeah, right? It's Mutagenic. So 4. So it's 3 times. It's 3 both times. So it becomes a 7 power creature. 10 in the air. This goes up to a 4/5. So it's not quite lethal. Yeah, we're 1 short. So that being the case, I guess I just swing with both of these. No, I don't swing with both of these guys. I guess I swing with just Darcy, and then when they attack, I go double Mutagenic, block their guys. All right, so swing with Darcy, pass the turn. If they have any Lord, we can't block because we have an island. All right, land, casting Lord of Atlantis. All right, animate Mutavault. All right, we're dead. Game 2, what do I want? Chain to the Rocks. Oh, Chain to the Rocks is so horrible against Tide Shaper, right? They can just turn it into an island and then this falls off. So no, that's actually bad. So I have nothing to bring in against them. Yeah, I have nothing to bring in against them. So I guess we just run this back as is. All right, on the play. Reveal Giganta. Looks fine to me. Keep. Play Mountain, cast Darcy, cast Bauble. Mutagenic Growth on top. I need more creatures, so graveyard that. Resolve Bauble. Just draw a card. ASAP. They're drawing Cavern of Souls, sure. And then pass it back. All right, drew Lava Dart. Opponent plays Aether Vial, and then passes back. All right, so let's probably just go Monomorphose, right? Yeah. Fetch. Do I have to have an island in play? I guess I don't have to. I can almost fetch it later. So Mountain, cast Monomorphose, trigger the Surveil. I don't want to land. Graveyard that. And then resolve Monomorphose. And I guess I'll make red and blue. Yeah, red and blue, in case I draw Sprite or Expressive. We drew another Monomorphose, so let's just cast that. Surveil, land to the graveyard, resolve Monomorphose, same thing. We drew Bauble, cast Bauble. Lava Dart's on top. Let's put that in the graveyard. Resolve Bauble, crack Bauble. They're drawing Dismember. Rough. Well, I can't beat them down that quickly, so I probably just... I do need to draw another creature, so it's probably best to just bolt them and then try to surveil a creature to the top. Underworld Breach. Ooh, that's actually good. All right, I'll leave that on top. How do I not have Delirium yet? All right, swing. So Vial goes up to 1. They have Dismember in their hand. Island. They're casting Chalice on 1. That's rough. Chalice on 1, eh? So I guess I'm just going to Breach and then cast Bauble as many times as possible. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing. All right, cast Underworld Breach. Put this in the graveyard. Resolve Breach. Cast Bauble. Getting rid of land, and I can't use 1 mana spells anyway, so all of these. All right, don't want anything that costs 1 mana. Delirium that. Resolve Bauble. Crack the Bauble. Drawing Lord of Atlantis. All right, cast Bauble. Land the other Bauble. Mutagenic Growth. Surveil. Expressive Iteration. While I do want that, I want to keep filling the graveyard up. What's the math on this? So then I'm going to have 3 left, so I do need to bin it. Graveyard. Target me with Bauble. Okay, Sprite Dragon. Then cast Bauble again. No, cancel. So now I attack with the Delirious Darcy. Swing. Opponent takes 3 to 13. Then I can keep doing this. So Bauble, eat the rest of the graveyard out. So this one, this one, this one. A Sprite Dragon is not going to do it. Just a Sprite Dragon when I only have 1 spell left that I can't even get through Chalice. So I guess let's just graveyard that. And then Bauble, Sprite Dragon on top still. Cast Bauble, get rid of this. All right, go away. I guess, no, I'm going to draw a ton of cards, right? All right, graveyard, Bauble, again. And I haven't fetched yet this turn, so fetch, grab a mountain, cast Bauble, put land into the graveyard, then Bauble again. So I can Lava Dart just to surveil, so that's fine. Resolve, put Bolt in the graveyard, cast Bauble, Soulscar Mage on top. I guess that's fine. And then Bauble again. All right. I lost track of how many times I baubled. 6 times. So let's draw 6 cards. Soulscar Mage, Darcy, Sprite Dragon, Monastery Swift Spear, Soulscar Mage, Darcy. So just all creatures. Sure. All creatures that I can't even play because of Chalice of the Void. Master of the Pearl Trident. And they have Dismember up. And a Vial on 2. All right, well, fetch land. Let's go. I'm not winning this game if I don't get blue. So Steam Vents, untapped. Cast Sprite Dragon. Cast Unholy Heat here. It gets countered. That's fine. Dismember our dragon, sure. This resolves. Everything resolves. And then we surveil. Underworld Breach on top, baby. Attack with Darcy. Opponent Vials in. Oh, is it Merfolk Trickster? No, just a Lord. All right. Take 3, go to 6. Vials up to 3. They have 3 cards. Plays Cavern of Souls. Opponent plays another Master of the Pearl Trident. All right, they attack us for 8. We go to 7. All right, let's cast Breach. Yeah, let's cast Breach. I have exactly 1 land left in my deck, right? Yeah, Sacred Foundry. Well, I gotta win this turn. So, Breach. Surveil, Expressive Iteration to the graveyard. Underworld Breach resolves. And then the problem is, okay, so I can go Bauble and then see what we hit. So cast Bauble and get rid of one of the lands. So the problem is I need to kill them now because I can't block them. So how do I do that? Anything that I draw, any Baubles that I use now, I can't actually hit anything with. And I guess they let me surveil creatures into the graveyard, right? Because if I cast Expressive Iteration, then I'm not going to have the mana to do anything. So I need to find Sprite Dragon. So let's go Bauble, get rid of this, So wait, I can just cast Sprite Dragon, right? So I can cast Sprite Dragon from my graveyard and then bobble a whole bunch. All right, so let's go Sprite Dragon, get rid of land, instant, the other land, done. And then I need to just cast a guy to get enough stuff in the graveyard. So that happens, and then bobble, exile the other 3, but then I'm going to be short, right? Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So I get bobble, and then I just don't have lethal. I can't block either. All right, yeah, that's game. 0-2, unfortunate. Play the next round. All right, round 2 on the play. Reveal Giganta. We have no lands, mulligan. We have only 1 land. We can play a Swift Spear, but that we can't do anything else. Going to 5 is really bad in a deck that needs critical mass. All right, let's mulligan again. All right, 2 lands, a bunch of creatures. Keep this. Let's put back, I guess, 2 Soulscar Mages, or do I just put back Sprite Dragon so that I can go... Sprite Dragon, yeah, okay, so let's go put these back. Then I can go turn 1, fetch Shock, or I guess just fetch regularly. Grab a mountain, cast Swift Spear. Is casting Swift Spear good here, or just, I guess I could go Soulscar Mage and double attack next turn. So let's just cast Soulscar Mage first. Pass the turn. I don't know if the math really actually changes on that, but let's just do it this way. Opponent plays Spirebluff Canal. All right, so they're Murktide probably. All right, well, fetch and shock Steam Vents. Play this one. Play this one. Attack with Monastery Swift Spear. Island. Opponent plays Consider. All right, let's go land, Sprite Dragon, and just attack with everything. Swing all. All right, opponent casts a Consider on end step. Bins Counterspell. 2 mana. Ledger Shredder probably? No. 2 mana. Plays another land. Unholy Heats the Sprite Dragon. Alright, fetch on end step. Grab Steam Vents. Untap. Alright, cast another Sprite Dragon. Go to combat. Swing with everything. Opponent goes to 13. Pass the turn. Opponent fetches on end step. Grabs the Steam Vents tapped. Opponent plays Expressive Iteration. Exiling Steam Vents. Playing an island. And then tapping for Murktide. Alright, so 8/8 Murktide. Let's say I attack everything. They probably just block the Sprite Dragon, right? I Mutagenic Growth, deal them 6, and they go to 6. That seems just bad. It's probably better to wait until I have more spells. Yeah, so let's just pass. Play another land. They fetch. Casting Lorien Reveal to draw 3. Is this stock now? All right, untap. Well, we really needed to draw a land there. So I think we're still in the same position as last turn. So let's just play a land and pass. Plays a land. Casts Bolt here. All right, let's Mutagenic Growth to try to save it. All right, they just bolted it again. Opponent plays another Murktide, exiling a bunch of stuff from the graveyard, making this Murktide a 13/13, which I can't block, and then that's exactly lethal. All right, game 2 against Murktide. Does Murktide play Chalice of the Void? I don't think they do. All right, so I guess Soul Guide Lantern is useful. Chain to the Rocks has to be useful. And then what is the worst cards in the deck? Sprite Dragon is just more expensive than any of these 1-drops, and they have flyers to block it. Mutagenic Growth is also kind of meh. It potentially saves guys from burn spells, I guess. What else? I do need a certain density of cards. What is bad? I don't think I want all these counter spells either. I don't think we play the game of resolve one guy and try to protect it, but maybe that is the game we're supposed to play. Yeah, maybe that is the game we're supposed to play. So in that case, Lava Dart only kills Ragavan. And what else? Monomorphos is only good if I already have a board, which in the deck so full of interaction is unlikely. So let's cut all that and just bring in all the counters. And what would be the last card? I guess just one of the Lava Darts back in. All right, submit. Reveal Giganta. I have only 1 creature and 2 baubles. I think it's probably fine. Even if they kill this, I get a bunch of redraws. So keep this, and then shock Steam Vents in, cast Swift Spear, cast Bauble, then what are they getting? Spell Pierce on top. What am I getting? Land on top. All right, attack with the Swift Spear. And then both these baubles go off. We draw land and Underworld Breach. All right, they play a bauble, crack the bauble. All right, they didn't kill our Swift Spear. We have Bolt, so let's just go land, attack, swing. They have a Spell Pierce, so I don't want to bolt them right now. End of turn, cycle for Island, sure. I guess I will do it now. Well, it's only 3 damage. Yeah, never mind, I won't. Scalding Tarn. All right, fetch, grab Steam Vents tapped, untap. Soul Guide Lantern, that's nice. So land, play Soul Guide. Resolve Soul Guide, exile Bauble out of their graveyard probably. And then swing for 2. They go to 14, pass. They fetch down to 13, get a Steam Vents tapped, play the island. Red bolting our guy. So I have to Flusterstorm this, and then they can just pay for it. So instead, let's go... So if I go Bolt, right? This goes up to 2-3, and then I go Flusterstorm, and then it's big enough anyway. I'm pretty sure I have to save this, so let's fetch in response and grab a mountain. Then let's Bolt them, and then let's Fluster this, and we'll choose same targets for the Flusterstorm, and then resolve everything on the stack here. All right, Ragavan, and they still have Spell Pierce. So if I play Breach, then they're just going to Spell Pierce it, and then I can't do anything. So let's just attack. I guess no, I could play multiple Baubles probably, but let's just swing right now, and then see if they block. All right, they're not blocking, so I'm going to Mutagenic now. Go to damage, I go to 6. Let's Shock and Sacred Foundry. Do I just have to pop this Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card? I probably just have to do that, don't I? It gives me a creature to block with or removal spell for Ragavan. All right, draw a card. All right, play DRC. And I do not have Delirium, eh? All right, go ahead. End of turn, Cyclorian revealed. All right, they're Unholy Heating Darcy, so that's fine. And then are they going to attack with Ragavan? Yes, they are. So they hit us to 10. What do they exile? Cast Murktide. And then they still have Spell Pierce up plus whatever else is in their hand. Okay, so let's go Chain to the Rocks, Murktide. Chain to the Rocks, trigger Swift Spear. And then eat Murktide. But if I try to play Breach here, they'll just pierce it, so we just attack. And then I will attempt to Breach next turn. All right, so they've Spell Pierce 3 unknowns. Ragavan hits us, exiles what? Expressive Iteration. Put Ragavan in the exile zone. Casting the new Ragavan just to have a blocker. Play a land. All right, so I can Breach. They Spell Pierce it, I pay for the Breach, and then I can't cast anything except Bauble, but they can just block anyway. All right, let's just go Soul Guide Lantern. Trigger, resolve this, exile this from their graveyard, and then let's draw a card. In response, they are doing what? Casting Archmage's Charm to steal our Swift Spear. Rough. All right, we drew a land. So now I can go land, Breach, Bolt you for 3 down to 1, and then cast... How many cards do I have in my graveyard? 11. So play this land. Okay, Breach, cast... Do I just go Breach, Darcy, cast Bauble as much as possible? That's probably better, right? All right, fetch, grab a mountain, Breach, cast DRC, exile this, this, and this, cast Bauble, always yield to these, everything into the graveyard, maximum fodder, Bauble, what are you drawing? And then cast Bauble, exile, no, do not exile the Bolt, exile this, this, and this, surveil again, Swift Spear in the graveyard, I just bin this, Bauble. So they have E on top. All right, so then cast the Bauble, this, this, and this. Mutagenic Growth, just graveyard, Bauble, Soulscar Mage on top. All right, and then I'm out of Breach lines, so then just pass. Then Breach dies. 3 Bauble triggers go off. We drew Bolt, Soulscar, Unholy Heat. All right, so we have to survive 1 attack. They have EE in their hand, so they can EE for 1, kill both of these, get their Murktide back as a 3/3. So since that's the case, I'm pretty sure I just block Ragavan. All right, we take 1, go to 6. They just didn't play anything. All right, well, in that case, let's go Soulscar Mage. I understand they have EE, but, like, I have to do it. I have to play stuff. I can't just not play anything. Land, and then just pass. I have Delirium, right? I have Instant Artifact, Enchantment Creature, and then I can fetch this whenever I want. Opponent plays Dashing Ragavan. All right, just attacking with Ragavan. All right, well... I suppose, again, they can just play EE whenever they want, so I should just block it. All right, block here. Then they trade off. Then our opponent casts EE for 1. Sure. All right, I'm going to Bolt them end step here. They go to 1. Should I fetch to thin this deck at this point? They're going to pop this, and then they'll have 3 to... I guess I'm not fetching if I don't need to. Yeah, all right. That's rough. So, okay, EE, pop, kills both of these, and then I just heat the Murktide. All right, pass. All right, pass priority. They didn't pop EE. I guess they don't have to, right? Because they just have a Monastery Swift Spear. So now we just take unnecessary damage from this if I don't kill it. I need to draw... I'm just going to take it because I need to draw a haste creature or a bolt. If I kill it, then they just pop EE, get Murktide back, and then I don't have an answer for Murktide, and I die faster to Murktide. All right, it still doesn't make sense to deck thin, so let's just draw. Expressive Iteration, that is useful. So let's see if we can resolve this. Opponent plays Counterspell, sure. Yeah, all right, Counterspell resolves. So I have another mountain in the deck, right? I have a 3rd mountain. Yeah, all right, so let's just go put Gigantha in hand. So EE kills both of these. All right, So now I just have to tank the 3 because I need to be able to pay for Spell Pierce. All right, fetch, grab this, untap. So let's go DRC, heat this, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. Maybe I just play Gigantha. Maybe I just heat this and then play Gigantha. All right, let's do that. Heat this. All right, cast Gigantha. Opponent flashes in Subtlety, and then we're done on the backswing. All right, that's the game. On to round 3. All right, we're on the draw for round 3. Reveal Gigantha. We have no lands. Mulligan. All right, we have lands. Keep, and the worst card in the hand is probably Mutagenic Growth, so let's just bin that. Opponent plays Blood Crypt. All right, Black Hex Parasite. Okay. Mountain, Swift Spear, attack. I'm going to hold these baubles until I can get the maximum prowess out of them. Swing. Clearly they will not block. So I'm assuming they're playing Urza's Saga so that they can use this to remove the counters. And they attack with Hex Parasite after shocking in another Blood Crypt. All right. So let's go Tarn, fetch, get Steam Vents, shock, cast Sprite Dragon, and then just attack with both. Opponent, cast. Sheoldred's Edict, so I sack Monastery Swift Spear, sure. And then swing with the Sprite Dragon. And ironically, or I guess somewhat happenstance, this can actually remove the counters on the Sprite Dragon, but all right, Bowmasters, and they'll target this. All right, I have to save it, so Mutagenic. All right, so now they have 3 1/1s in play, and then they attack with the Hex Parasite. All right, we go to 13. Soul Scar. All right, Sprite Dragon. Oh, that's going to be really awkward with the baubles, so I don't crack them yet. I crack them on the upkeep. So bauble, cast. I guess I don't even need to do them on upkeep, right? I just do them end of turn. This bauble resolves, then cast another bauble, and then swing. Swing, swing. Taking 7, going to 7. And then I will just pop these on his turn so that the orc isn't grown the same turn. Castle Locthwain. Go to combat. They attack with everything. We take 3 and go to 10. Is this Murktide? No, this is Jeskai Prowess. All right, what else? 3 mana, 2 mana. All right, they're casting Death Shadow. All right, well, pop the baubles now. They have Fatal Push on top. Pop the bauble. We have a land. All right, bauble triggers go off. So draw, then Orcish Bowmasters triggers. They're shooting us. Second bauble resolves. Yikes, we just drew land creature, so we need to... I assume they have removal. All right, what's our draw for the turn? We didn't draw a single spell, so they can actually use Hex Parasite to make this not lethal. So, okay, they're about to draw Fatal Push, though. So, what's my play here? It's attack with both of them. One of them is either killed or shrunk. And then we just play 2 Soulscar Mages, Chump Block, Death Shadow. I guess that's the play. So, let's attack. Swing, swing. All right, well, they need to respond with something. Activate Hex Parasite, right? Right. Plunge into darkness. Sacrifice any number of creatures. You gain 3 life for each sacrificed creature. What? Okay. So they're going to sack, what, these 2? So the other side of this card is you pay 3 life per looting thing, right? Pay X life, look at the top X, put one of those into hand and the rest on the bottom. Oh, and exile the rest. All right, so they sacked their Death Shadow? Oh, because... No, they sacked 2 creatures and then Death Shadow died because it became 0 toughness. All right, so they go to 6, and then we'll go land, Soul Scar, pass the turn. All right, so they have Fatal Push and 2 other unknown cards. So they can push this thing, Fatal Push on the Soul Scar Mage, and then they concede. All right, well, our opponent is cooking up something fierce. We definitely want Chain to the Rocks, and then I don't know what else. So if you're not familiar with Plunge into Darkness, this is basically a CEDH tutor that sometimes gets played. Not really, but it's sometimes maybe can be played. I never expected to see it in a 1v1 format. All right, Chain to the Rocks, and then what? Lava Dart can kill Orcish Bowmasters and its token, so that's fine. Mutagenic is... They have removal that is destroy-based and not damage-based, so they're worse than normal. I don't think I want all the protection spells, so... Just cut 3 Mutagenics, probably. Yeah, let's run that back. Reveal Gigantha. All right, this hand's a little slow, but we can at least... It is awkward with them having Bowmasters in the deck that we don't have any free play with Sprite Dragon, but it has an Expressive Iteration in hand. This is probably fine. Man, our opponent's on some spicy cook. They are mulligan to 4, though. Bloodstained Mire. All right, well, since we have no play, I will also just play Bloodstained Mire and pass. Opponent fetches a basic Swamp. Plays Blood Crypt, shocking it in. Black mana. Thoughtseize. I assume they'll take Expressive. They took Monomorphose. All right. Fetch. Get a Steam Vents. Go to our turn. Well, I'm not just going to play around Orcish Bowmasters forever, so let's play Spite Dragon and attack them. Looks like they just have the removal. Yeah, Fatal Push. All right. Pass the turn. Which very much means that they do not have Bowmasters unless they just drew it. All right. Opponent passes. Let's go land, Sprite Dragon, and then I will swing and then hold up Lava Dart in case they Bowmasters this. Swing. Red mana. Lightning Bolt. I cannot grow this to be large enough to survive that, so it gets killed as well. Opponent passes back to us. Fetch. Get Steam Vents. Untap. All right, let's cast Expressive Iteration. Bauble, DRC, Lava Dart. We have Sorcery, Land, Creature. So I want the redraw. So let's put Darcy in hand. This on the bottom, this in exile. Then let's play a land. Let's play DRC, cast the Bauble. All right, another DRC on top. That's fine. I will keep that. So put that back on top. Resolve the Bauble. And then I'm going to stop them in their upkeep. All right, pass it back. Bauble you. They're drawing a land. Very well then. They play a Blood Crypt. Shock it. Go to 13. All right. Untap. Draw from the Bauble. Darcy. Then draw for turn. Sprite Dragon. So let's just go Darcy. I'm going to shock this in. Let's also, yeah, let's go Sprite Dragon. And then attack with these two. Swing there, swing there. How low can I get them? I can go Dart, Bolt, Dart. So I can put 5 damage on them just with this. And then that adds another 3 counters here. So they actually just lose the game if they don't have removal. All right, fetch. Grab a mountain. Cast Bolt on you. Abilities go on the stack. We have Mace on top, graveyard that. Bolt on top, top that. Bolt resolves. Lava Dart you. Keep the Bolt on the top. Still continue to keep the Bolt on the top. Lava Dart resolves. They're at 9. I'm actually sure, no, this is 3 more damage here, or 2 more damage here, so they're almost dead. So flashback, sack a mountain, triggers, keep on top. Did I count 1 short? Okay, I'm 1 short. Or 2, yeah, 1 short. So they're at 1. And then we're drawing a Bolt. Castle Locthwain. All right, we won the match. On to round 4. All right, round 4 on the draw. Reveal Giganta. We have triple Monomorphose, 3 lands Breach. Probably can't keep this. Yeah, mulligan. Land. All right, this is fine. And then let's just put back... I want this to protect this from burn if that's what our opponent's on. So let's put Lava Dart back. Basic Forest. Arboreal Grazer. All right, we're playing Titan. That makes this kind of awkward now with the blocker. But what are you going to do? All right, Soulscar Mage and pass. Urza Saga. Amulet. All right. Land. Fetch a mountain. Cast Monomorphose. Get the Prowess. Draw. Let's get red and blue. Cast the other Monomorphose. Red and blue. Well, there's Expressive, so let's use the mono while we can. Expressive. Resolve Expressive. All right, so Swift Spear to hand, and then just doesn't matter. We've played a land this turn, right? Yeah. And attack with Soulscar Mage. And now they can just block this to not take damage, or they can just not block it however they want. All right, Grazer dies, and then it's back to them. Now they can make a Construct to block, or just go off. All right, Forest. So now they just make a Construct. All right, well, play Swift Spear and attack. Swing. They make a Construct. They block one of these. So I obviously have to cast this, but how many do I do? So let's go here. So I can't get in for anywhere near a high enough amount of damage this turn, right? 4, 7, 10. Yeah, I'll just let this go through as is. And then play a land pass. Is Urza's Saga a controversial card? I don't know. I do think the card is too good, but among the ridiculous Horizons editions, I don't think it's as bad as the others. All right, so second Amulet, and now we're probably just dying. Yep, let's just yield to these triggers. Yield to this trigger. Pact. All right, let's see if we're dead. Cultivator Colossus. Primeval Titan. And then they get to play Colossus, and then they have 2 blockers that can just block our entire board. Yeah, bunch of triggers. All right, that's good enough. I can't imagine what I'd need to draw to not lose. Even if we don't lose this turn, I can't imagine what I need to draw to not lose the following turns. So, all the Wear Tears. Chain to the Rocks seems kind of bad. It's only useful before their Titan comes down to hit like a Dryad. And even then, they have Beseiju in their deck, so they can just get rid of it. And then none of the rest of the stuff is useful. So it's Wear Tear, and then what are we cutting? Ground creatures are way less useful when they just have random 0/3 and 2/4 blockers. So let's cut 4 Soul Scars. All right, submit that. On the play, reveal Giganta. We do have a creature and a bunch of spells, so okay, let's keep this. All right, Steam Vents, Shock, cast Swift Spear, attack. Opponent plays Saga, plays Amulet. All right, so, ooh, another mutagenic. I need to expressive and try to find answers right now, I think. How much damage can I get in this turn? 4, so this is +3 each, so 3, so 1, 4, 7, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm 1 short, right? 1, 3, or 1, 4, 7, 11, 13, 15. No. All right, fetch. Let's grab Sacred Foundry and cast. I could just get in tons of damage this turn and then expressive next turn. What does that put them to? If I'm not flashing back Lava Dart, then that's 1, 4, 7, 11, 13. They go to 6. What am I hoping to get if I cast Expressive Iteration? All right, let's just smack them for as much as we can. Mutagenic, then the other mutagenic, Bolt, Lava Dart. Now this is 9 power, swing. All right, they go to 6. Then this triggers, so they can make a Construct and then, or just play Dryad. All right, they play Azusa, make a bunch of mana with Azusa, play another Urza Saga, and then play Dryad as a blocker. Okay, so if I hadn't done all that on my turn, I could have what? I could have gone Bolt, Dart the Dryad. All right, I guess if I find Wear Tear, I need to cast it immediately to hit this one. So let's, It's just very awkward. I'm probably just going to lose this. All right, Expressive Iteration. Bolt, Monomorphose, Monomorphose. So hand, bottom, exile, and then mountain, and then I attack. All right, they're blocking there, and then I just have to spend this while I have it, so bolt you. And then they get to untap with Dryad and 2 amulets in play. So that's 8 mana just off the bounce land. So if they have Titan, we lose. The alternative would have been to do what last turn? Instead of going all in, just cast the mutagenics and then just hold the rest of the spells. And then when they play their stuff, bolt plus a dart on Dryad. But then they're in no danger of dying, so they just get to untap with Azusa because they don't have to block. Yeah, Talaria West, go get Titan, or go get Pact, which gets Titan. Titan comes down, gives itself haste, attacks. The Titan alone can just kill us, but the Valakuts following up are going to also kill us. Yeah, all right, I've seen enough. That's the way the cookie crumbles. On to round number 5. All right, round number 5 on the draw. Reveal Gigantha. We have DRC and a bunch of spells. Looks good. Keep. Opponent plays Bloodstained Mire. All right, Shockin', Steam Vents, play DRC, cast Bobble. Definitely keep Iteration on top. And then pass it back. Opponent fetches. Ketria Triumph, so it is probably Creativity. Persist. It's almost certainly Creativity, but on the Persist version. All right, second land, and then if they just have Run and 6 to ping this, that's so bad. That's what it looks like it's going to be. Yep, Run and 6, ping our DRC. Oh no, they're not going to ping DRC. They're just picking a land up. Well, that makes me pretty happy. Resolve the Bobble draw. Draw EE, or draw EI, and then Bolt. All right, so land, fetch, get a mountain, cast Monomorphose, put Sprite Dragon on... Okay, so if I put Sprite Dragon on top, I draw it, I cast the Sprite Dragon, I don't have Delirium, and then Run and 6 doesn't get killed. So put that in the graveyard. I suppose I can just cast other things. I don't have to cast the dragon. I probably just want to draw the dragon so I have another creature. So then what is the alternative? Then I go, that's instant artifact, land in the graveyard. All right, let's just bin it. Ensure that I have Delirium. Resolve this, blue, red. We drew another Monomorphose. This is now Delirious. So let's go Monomorphose again. Trigger, put a land in the graveyard. And then I probably am not casting Iteration this turn. I need to kill Ren in 6, so I'm definitely Lava Darting it and then attacking it. If I cast Iteration, then I don't have the mana to do that, so I should just add double red. All right, double red. Cast Swift Spear. Cast Lava Dart here. Or is it more... yeah, cast Lava Dart here. Resolve these abilities. Bolt on top is probably fine. Leave that on top. And then go to combat. This attacks Ren in 6. This attacks him. All right, Ren dies. They go to 14. Pass the turn. They just play a land and are seemingly just passing it back to us. All right. Are they dead on board? We go Bolt, Bolt. That's 3, 6, 9, 12 damage exactly. Play a land. Swing with both. All right, cast a Bolt. Resolve the abilities. What do they have? Prismari Command is my only guess. Casting Prismari Command. All right, Bolt you in response. Resolve all of this stuff. Put a land in the graveyard. Resolve Bolt. Resolve Prismari Command. They get a treasure. Sack the treasure. Casting Spell Pierce on this bolt over here. All right, so then I can't pay it. So no, then this resolves, then the Delirium resolves. Put this on the graveyard, and then we're hitting them for 6. So let's just get that as far as we can. Lava Dart, sack this. All right, DRC, Underworld Breach on top, resolve Lava Dart, go to damage. They're at 1. And now that means they cannot fetch, which means no Dwarven Mines, no other fetch lands. All right, we got it. Creativity, what do I want? Definitely all the counter spells that I can get. And then they're also on persist, so I do need to have Graveyard Hate to prevent them from persisting back Archons. And then Soul Scars are the slowest creatures. If Archon resolves, we're already dead, so let's just not have heat in the deck. What else? Lava Darts, they have, I guess, no, they have the Dwarf tokens that we can shoot. We can shoot the Dwarf tokens with heat as well. What else to cut? Sprite Dragons are incredibly awkward because they die to Wrenn and 6 and like every burn spell in their entire deck also, and they're the most expensive Prowess creatures we have. So let's just cut all the Sprite Dragons. All right, submit. Reveal Gigantha. All right, we have double Darcy, double Bauble, double Lava Dart. Keep this. They play a land and then are just passing to us. All right, Arid Mesa, Fetch Shock, Steam Vents, play Darcy. And then I probably just have to try to get Delirium down right now so that this is not susceptible to Wrenn and 6. Mutagenic Growth is an instant into the graveyard. All right, graveyard that. Resolve Bauble. Play another Bauble. Another instant. I don't want to draw it, so let's put that in the graveyard. All right, well, we're not going to be able to get Delirium, so let's just pass, stop on upkeep. Opponent fetches. Grabs a Steam Vents, shocks it in. All right, yeah, Darcy dies. Bauble you. They're drawing Spell Pierce. Do they only have 1 land? No, they have a 2nd land. Okay. Crack the Bauble. They're drawing Hidetsugu Consumes All. All right, so they have Hidetsugu Spell Pierce. Both these Baubles go off. Draw, draw. All right, so that's the 2nd land and a Bauble. So Hidetsugu consumes all next turn, but I can't just not play creatures. So let's fetch. Let's grab another Steam Vents. Let's play Darcy. Let's play Bauble. Monomorphose to the graveyard. Resolve the Bauble. And then let's make sure they can't get Archons back from the graveyard, so let's cast Soul Scott. Yeah, because I can't Flusterstorm Hidetsugu, so let's just cast Soul Guide. All right, so they're spell piercing that. That's fine. So not paying for it. Land to the graveyard, and then pass the turn. I assume they'll fetch now. All right, so they do not draw Hidetsugus. Stomping Ground, Shock, and then they're just going to pass it back. All right, Bauble. They still have Hidetsugus on top. All right, Bauble draw land, draw Swift Spear. Okay, so let's just go land, fetch, get a mountain, cast Swift Spear, and then just attack with both of these. Swing, swing. And just keep Lava Dart up for Dwarf. All right. They go to 10, and then what are they doing on the end step? Cycling Ketria Triumph. Playing Hidetsugu Consumes All, which I can't block, which I can't... So I should just dart them now so that I get to surveil stuff that I need to the top. Bolt on top, not going to help. Graveyard that, and then dart you again. Also land's not going to help, so graveyard that. So resolve this, resolve this. Do I dart still? The next mode is it takes us off our graveyard. I really need to draw what? Underworld Breach? Yeah, flashback the dart. Expressive Iteration. Okay, Expressive Iteration will do. Put this on top. Now they go to 7, and then Hidetsugu resolves and blows our board up. Dwarf and Mine. Get a dwarf. Sure. So this happens in their main phase. All right. Expressive Iteration. Yikes. All right, put this in my hand, put this on the bottom, exile Mutagenic. I just have to shoot this now, right? I guess, yeah, I have to shoot it now before this goes over, but then I only have 1 land. That's so rough. All right, kill it. So now all the graveyards go away, so we can't breach them anymore. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Back to us. Well, there's Underworld Breach, so pass it back. It's so strange that they're playing this when they also have a bunch of 0 mana tokens and graveyard synergies. So they discarded Archon and nothing else, which tells me they probably have a persist, because then why wouldn't you just discard another card and try to dig for the persist for this card? All right, we take 2 from the Shaman. What does this thing do exactly? Whenever it deals damage to anything, put a counter on it. Creativity, yeah, all right. Oh, Iona. Iona and Archon? All right, we're dead. Begin sideboarding. So back on the play, I don't want these Soul Guides anymore. Let's just put Soulscar Mage back in and then just try to race them. Yeah, all right, submit. On the play, reveal Gigantha. We have land, double Swift Spear, but 0 follow-up. So if we don't draw another land, this is hand's just dead. All right, mulligan. All right, this is better. So I'm going to keep, and I'm going to bin probably Mutagenic Growth. Yeah. All right. Fetch, Shock and Steam Vents, cast Soulscar Mage, pass the turn. And then the plan is next turn, another land, Swift Spear, Bauble, trigger them both, hold Spell Pierce up. All right. Land, fetch. Our life total basically doesn't matter in this matchup, so just get another Steam Vents, cast Swift Spear, cast Bauble, then swing with both of these. Swing, swing. Opponent takes 4 down to 16. Crack, no, not crack this Bauble because they're going to fetch. So stop on their upkeep. Opponent fetches, down to 15. Grabs Catch Your Triumph tapped. All right, Bauble. They're drawing Bolt. All right, land, fetch, basic mountain, casting Run in 6. We will 100% counter that. So they have a Bolt in their hand. All right, Bauble, draw, Monomorphose, Mutagenic Growth. Okay, this is going to be good. Cast Monomorphose, red and blue. Cast Monomorphose, red and blue again. We drew Iteration, cast Iteration. What do I want? Land in exile, and then... I actually don't need a land, no, right? I want to put DRC in exile. I don't have blue mana. Okay, so I want to put DRC in exile, Flusterstorm in my hand. So Flusterstorm into the hand, this on the bottom, DRC in exile, then go Mountain, cast DRC, Mutagenic Growth, one of these, doesn't matter. All these triggers go on the stack. Surveil, Underworld Breach to the top, most certainly. Then resolve this, and then attack. All right, opponent goes to 2. They have a Bolt and a bunch of unknown cards. And all of our guys are lethal. Beseiju. They don't have black for Hidetsugu. Okay, so Prismari Command, kill one of them, make a token, bolt the other one. They're still dead, though. All right, cast Breach. All right, we got there. It was not a good record. It was only 2 and 3, but at least finished with that much. So, Jeskai Prowess. I'm not sure if this sideboard is exactly correct. I've seen versions that have Prismatic ending both main and side. So I'm not sure if this is exactly the board you want, or if you maybe want to cut some stuff for Prismatic ending. But overall, I do like the deck. It is a critical mass deck that requires you have a lot of things go correctly, where you need the right mix of creatures and spells to pump them. There's a lot of other decks like that, like Boggles and whatnot. So yeah, overall, even though the record wasn't good, pretty happy with the deck.